This is it, you know, exactly. You don't have to look far. If you, you know, these are things that it used to be, well, if you got busted doing something minor, you were going to pick up trash by the side of the road. That's mandatory, voluntary. But now you find that if you're in school, you want to, you know, you want to go to a good school, you're going to have to do some time working for nonprofits, right? So who's getting your free time? Who's getting your time for free, for nothing? The nonprofits. These are public-private partnerships that you are going to be volunteering mandatorily for.
And they're the NGOs competing with the free market, just like people working for 25 cents an hour in the prisons are competing and shutting down our society.
Right, and your tax dollars are going to fund all of this. You know, this is what happens with, for instance, redevelopment funds are going to pay for subsidized housing that is for-profit housing. So these are developers who are making money, and they're using your property tax dollars to do it. So this is an entire program. It's a huge plan. It's a global plan implemented locally, and it's using your transportation dollars, your property tax dollars, your income tax dollars to make this happen. And it's all about taking away your independence, taking away your food independence, your private property rights, your educational system. It's a whole life plan, and it is happening right now. You don't have to look far. You can fight it right in your town, and that's where you should fight it, locally, because that's where these plans are coming up. You'll find these regional plans right there in your city. You want to stand up and say, no, we will not be regionalized. We will not be Delphied. We will not allow our money to go for these plans that are just going to sink our economy and drive us further into debt and into foreclosure, so less of us will own property, and we'll have to move into those high-density developments.
Remember 3 years ago when the Copenhagen documents came out and it was designed to reduce population and shut down the third world, and so it didn't pass? Schwarzenegger was in USA Today, and now he leads the group for the UN. He said, don't worry, we implement at city, county, and state level. And that's what they're doing, and they sweep into town, buy off your politicians. They can buy them so cheap, you know, a couple million to the National Planning Commission, and it's over. They fly them for steak dinners in New York. It's over. Or they give their wife or husband a job. It's over, and they just literally sign us over to these crooks.
Yeah, well, they actually, you know what they'll do is they actually develop candidates for office right out of your neighborhood associations. They call you, they bring you in to, you know, to show buy-in in a local community, and then they identify the good Germans, and they move them up the ladder. We have to call a halt to this. I don't want people to feel that they are helpless, that they can't fight this, because we are fighting it all across the nation, all of us.
Oh, yeah, the globalists have hit the panic button now. Now, I'm not for lying. But in some cases, when there's election fraud, there's covert ops. I think a lot of us should be public. But I think some people, business folks and others, should play along with these enemies because they are like a foreign power that's infiltrated. And we should infiltrate their groups and act like the most hardcore corporate fascist, laugh at the public, call them scum. Because I've seen the locals do this when they don't know we're watching. And they'll actually put you in as mayor. Then you could turn on them. Do you think that's a good operation?
I don't know, but I do take their seminars and I read all of their documentation. And this is what you want to do, is educate yourself, because once people recognize that this is not a conspiracy theory, it's a fact and it's happening, you can get people on board quickly. And this is happening across the United States. I'm going all over the U.S. and speaking to groups, and people are ready and willing to get up and stop this. And we will win this. We will win this. We can do it. We're going to stop this in our country because we can't allow this to continue. We are losing our rights.
Incredible. Let's break down how we're winning and more of what life will look like in the compact cities and rural areas, you know, how they plan to shut us down. I want to go over that. Just amazing. And I want you to come to Austin because, as you know, we're under attack. Hey, maybe we should fly you out here and have you here in studio and then have you speak to the locals, because we've got a great activist community that loves liberty, because you, Rose, are doing great. I had tried. All right, I'll be back live tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon Eastern. Rosa Koire will be back with us Thursday for an hour and a half, and we got some longer segments and more time to talk then. But, again, we've gone over a lot of info here. We're going to finish up with talking about what you can do and some more of the things they're doing to rural communities as well. Again, we're also going to tell you how to get her book and some of the websites you can visit to get involved. But absolutely, she is just out there really exposing these people, and a lot of other great folks are. That's why the globalists are hitting the panic button all over the corporate trader media now. They're saying, well, the UN is taking over for the earth. We are increasing your prices and stuff for mega corporations. You know, Enron and folks set this up. I mean, it's for the earth. And, of course, they said it was for the earth when Enron was stealing $1 billion a week or so a decade ago in California. But I have a short clip here of Mark Tersick. Well, first we're going to go to Obama. Mark Tersick was at the Eco Fest put on by the Austin Chronicle people, and he's the head of the Nature Land-Grabbing Conservancy. And he agreed to talk to our reporters after a speech, but when Darren McBreen brought up, well, Obama said he wants to shut down coal plants, he said, that's it, I'm not talking to you, and literally ran from our reporters. He ran. There was a whole press conference there wanting to talk to him. He heard that question. It was like a vampire at high noon. Again, whether you're for coal or not, it's about shutting down whatever they want and only letting GE operate. Here's the clip of Obama saying we're going to bankrupt coal. Here it is.
If somebody wants to build a coal-fired plant, they can. It's just that it will bankrupt them because they're going to be charged a huge sum for all that greenhouse gas that's being emitted.
Okay, that's enough there. We went to another guest asking him a question next. Now let's go to Mark Tersick with Darren McBreen, Infowars.com reporter, simply asking him a question, and he ran off. Here it is. This is, again, Mark Tersick. He is the head of the Nature Conservancy while they're getting that queued up there on the system. All right, here it is.
If you will, coal power plants. I'm just trying to get both sides of the story. But I want to know if you're familiar with President Obama's statement that he wanted to bankrupt the coal power plant.
I don't think I want to do this, all right? I'm going to pass. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not ready on this topic. And I don't really like the video.
Okay, so there's the clip, a little bit of low audio, but what do you make of that, Rosa Koire? Hold on, we didn't have you faded up. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, when dams are unsustainable, and dams have been identified as being unsustainable, now that is clean power, right? Hydroelectric power, clean. But dams are being destroyed all over the United States right now. Over 1,000 dams have been destroyed in the United States right now because supposedly it's impossible for living things to survive in a dam area. So they're freeing these rivers and destroying clean energy at the same time. This is not an environmental program. They don't want you using that water. This is about destroying your opportunity, your ability to be independent. And they want to bring you into cities. Why? Because they want to control you, surveil you, monitor, and manipulate you. And who is doing it? Your government is doing it. Your city government, you'll have your National Association of Counties, your League of Cities, the EPA is a partner, Smart Growth America. We're kicking ICLEI out across the United States. That's the International Council on Local Environmental Initiatives. And we are kicking ICLEI out of all of our cities and counties and states across the nation, and we are taking back our country and our government. That's what we're doing. We've got to all do it together. So when you hear ICLEI, International Council or for Local Environmental Initiatives, or local governments for sustainability, as they call it now, they are actually actively engaged in changing your local government so that you'll find your climate adaptation software, your climate protection campaigns. These are not environmental campaigns. They're designed to restrict your possibilities and your potential for using your property and your ability to be free and to speak out freely. These are all plans designed to destroy the possibility of dissent in our country. And that is what guarantees our freedom, dissent and the ability to speak and move freely across our country. We need to stand up together. I have about 20 pages in my book of what you can do, and we are doing it across the nation. And this is Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, everyone's getting up and taking this on together, and we can do it.
Well, we can, and we had the fader down on the video player earlier because we're doing video and audio here for the radio audience, for folks watching at prisonplanet.tv. We'll try it again. Here's the Nature Conservancy head who used to work at Goldman Sachs. in helping third world countries. Well, you know how much they help them. And helping Europe, they help us all. They're good people. Give us your money. It's for the earth. Let us triple charge you. It's for the earth. Here he is when he was asked about Obama saying we'll bankrupt your coal power plants that supply more than half the power to this country. And here he is refusing to answer the question and running off from the press conference. Here it is.
I can get my question in there anyway, but these are more for the proponents, I guess, if you will, of coal power plants. I'm just trying to get both sides of the story. But I want to know if you're familiar with President Obama's statement that he wanted to bankrupt the coal power plants.
I don't think I want to do this, all right? I'm going to pass. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not ready on this topic, and I don't really like video because...
All right, we are back live, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is how these people are operating. It's what they're doing. Why do you think when he had that brought up to him that he ran? I mean, they're so used to the traitor media either being ignorant or not asking real questions.
That's it. This is you're inundated with propaganda all over the media. And when anyone asks a question that deserves a true answer, an honest answer, you're just not going to get that. In fact, right now, you'll be told that, oh, yeah, Agenda 21, right. Oh, that's a good thing. Oh, bad Agenda 21, because it's coming out now. You know, your government used to say that you were a tinfoil hat nutcase if you even talked about it. But, you know, I've got it right here, actually. Here it is. This is the United Nations Agenda 21, put out by the UN. It's 300 pages, 40 chapters.
Well, Rosa, I've read it. I've got a copy as well. But here's the deal. They're admitting global government. They're admitting it's about population reduction. They're admitting it's to destroy the family. Germany, as you know, passed a law that all new homes built have to be dormitory style and no more single family dwellings in Germany. In fact, folks won't believe that. Search the term Germany bans single family dwellings. And then it says by, 2015, and then by 2020, totally no homes allowed for individuals. I mean, this is cult, brainwashing, Borg, hive mind, body snatcher level, crazy control freak, commune takeover.
That's right. You said it. And you know what? Your president and mine, Obama, committed the United States to reducing our greenhouse gas emissions 80% below 1990 levels by the year 2050. That, I've looked at the charts. That's going to put us back prior to 1934. Now, would your country want to create a situation where your industry and your energy production is put back before the World War II? And plus, if you look at it in terms of per capita, you're back in the 1880s.
Well, but wait, then they don't even allow real sustainable old-fashioned agriculture. They're harassing that. They allow the GMO, the toxic waste dumping, splicing, monkeys with 8 different species. They allow all this real stuff that's hurting the environment while just saying they're going to grab our property and not let us live our lives. It is incredible.
That's right. Get yourself into the center of the city. That's what they want you to do so they can watch you, surveil you, control you, take you away from your car so that you only go where they say you can go. And on these high-speed trains that don't exist and go nowhere if they do exist. And this is your future if you don't stop it now. We are stopping it now. We can do it. So, this is what's going to happen. You lose your food independence, your ability to speak freely, to move freely, and you have a country
They're already doing it with the TSA. We're losing $40 billion a year in tourism. People say, why are they doing it? They want to bankrupt the airlines. They admit they want to put taxes on aircraft for carbon tax. They admit they want to shut down freedom because that makes us independent. Incredible. Folks can find your book. We have a link to it for Amazon.com and Infowars.com. But Behind the Green Mask, Agenda 21, so important. I can't wait to have you on with us Thursday. But this isn't hype when you're saying we're starting to win. As you pointed out, Rosa, the system says we're winning and are freaking out. And just like we exposed their carbon tax, we're going to beat them on this. What's the best website for folks to visit to learn more?
Democrats against UN Agenda 21.com.
All right. Killer job. God bless you. Look forward to having you on Thursday. And Austin Groups and others, you need to get her to your town. See you back live tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, Infowars.com. Great job to the crew. Watch my Whitney Houston video, what I have to say about the prescription drugs at Infowars.com.
is happening right now. You don't have to look far. You can fight it right in your town, and that's where you should fight it, locally, because that's where these plans are coming up. You'll find these regional plans right there in your city. You want to stand up and say, no, we will not be regionalized. We will not be Delphied. Your tax dollars are going to fund all of this. You know, this is what happens with, for instance, redevelopment funds are going to pay for subsidized housing that is for-profit housing. So these are developers who are making money, and they're using your property tax dollars to do it. So this is an entire program. It's a huge plan. It's a global. This is it, you know, exactly. You don't have to look far. If you know, these are things that it used to be, well, if you got busted doing something minor, you were going to pick up trash by the side of the road. That's mandatory, voluntary. But now you find that if you're in school, you want to, you know, you want to go to a good school, you're going to have to do some time working for a noble plan implemented locally, and it's using your transportation dollars, your property tax dollars, your income tax dollars to make this happen. And it's all about taking away your independence, taking away your food independence, your private property rights, your educational system. It's a whole life plan, and it is nonprofits, right? So who's getting your free time? Who's getting your time for free, for nothing? The nonprofits. These are public-private partnerships that you are going to be volunteering mandatorily for.
And they're the NGOs competing with the free market, just like people working for 25 cents an hour in the prisons are competing and shutting down our society.
Right, and you're